Alright, we got us a 50-gallon electric hot water tank here. About a year in use. I live in a part of town that is notorious for having extremely hard water. So today we're gonna locate the factory anode rod, pull it out, inspect it, and potentially replace it with this new magnesium rod here. We're gonna go ahead and shut the breaker off. I will shut the water supply off. We'll also open the drain valve on the bottom and drain out a few inches of water just to take some pressure and water out of the tank. I believe this here underneath this cap is going to be our factory anode rod, so I'm going to take a screwdriver and pop that guy out, pull out some foam. We'll be back in just a minute. Alright, we got the water supplies shut off. Breaker box has been shut off. Just took a screwdriver, popped this cap off. Now we're going to see if we can take out some of the foam. Looks like it's going to be a ways down in there. Let me grab a vacuum. We'll clean some of that out. Pick up this anode rod the new one that I just dropped a minute ago. This is what we're looking for down there in the top of the tank after we clear away the foam. Get you down in there, see if you can see it. Yep. Alright, so we got enough of that expanding foam, insulating foam cleared out of the way. Now we can put a socket down in there. See if we can get it out. Alright, I went ahead and got the tank drained down about an inch or two by opening up the flush valve at the bottom. I also opened up this pressure relief valve up top to break the vacuum so more water could drain down. It looks like the anode rod head size is 1 1/16 inch. So that's what we're going to use. Take out the old one. You could use a socket on the long breaker bar if you got one of those. I'm going to skip straight to the electric impact. See if it comes off a little quicker. If you're watching this with headphones on, this is going to be noisy. Alright, she's loose. Now I need to find something to reach in there and grab that with. Alright, we're going to try needle nose pliers here. And if I did the math right, the existing rod is just short enough to clear the top of the tank and the basement ceiling. Oh yeah, she's been doing her job. And this is very likely going to be hot, right? Because it just came out of the hot water tank. Let's see if I can get the old one over here next to the new one and we'll compare them. Let me also get some better lighting here. Alright, we'll change lighting on you a little bit here. So again, this tank has been in use for a little over a year. Probably right about a year and 3 months. The existing rod, according to the manufacturer, was magnesium. The existing rod on the left, the brand new rod on the right. So we can see In some places it's been completely eaten away, in other places it is working on being eaten away. Some places here, about halfway to 3/4 of the way down, you can still see solid rod. Not much solid rod. All the way down to the bottom. Yeah, he's been deteriorated right off the bottom as well. Alright. And like I said, we're in a part of town that has notoriously extremely hard water. We go through hot water tanks about every 24 to 36 months. I've never bothered to change the anode rod before, but it has occurred to me when my tanks are rusting out, it's probably because the anode rod has done its job and has been fully deteriorated, and I should have replaced it. So, somewhat new tank, about the 1-year mark. We're going to go ahead and replace this with a new rod. What we'll do is we'll put some plumbing Teflon tape around those threads, slide that back down in the hole. I'm not going to use the impact to torque it back in place because I don't want to over torque it. I'll just switch to a standard wrench. And then what we'll do is we will repressurize the tank by opening up the plumbing valves, and we will check around the top of the rod threads to make sure there's no water seepage. We'll apply the power back onto the heating unit, come back, check it in an hour after it's gone through a heat cycle, and make sure that once the tank is fully pressurized again, no more leaks. So let me grab some plumbing tape and we'll see if we can get this back down in there. Alright, the old anode rod, the original one, didn't have any plumbing tape on there from the factory. Looks like maybe it did weep a little and sealed up with a bit of corrosion. So I didn't go crazy, but I did put a few wraps of tape on this guy. We'll go ahead and stick it back in place and tighten it down here. We'll wipe all the dust off of this rod here after it fell on the floor. Now if you're thinking to yourself, this job is too intimidating, if I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing to it. All you need is a 1/16 inch socket, a bit of an extension, a breaker bar or a pipe, or an impact wrench if you got one. I'm going to start these threads by hand just to make sure they don't get cross-threaded. That would not be good to cross-thread them on the tank and then have it leak permanently. Alright, it's pretty snug. Finish it up here with a ratchet. Alright, we're going to leave it like that. We'll come back and check on it after we turn the water supply back on and the power back on. We'll give it about an hour or two. We'll come back, see if it's weeping at all. If it's weeping any water around the threads, we'll give it another quarter turn to tighten it. This is what it looks like when she's all back down in there. There's the new one. And that's all there is to it. I am not going to bother to refill this cavity with foam. I'm just going to put the cap back on her, just like that. Thanks for watching.